Hey, welcome. If you're watching this portion, you're probably watching the replay, so welcome to the replay. I'm just waiting for people to trickle in. I am live both on Instagram and TikTok. Okay, it's gonna say I reached my daily time limit on Instagram very soon, so it's probably something's gonna happen, but hopefully I don't get kicked off. So welcome. I put like a Q&A thing in my stories, but like only one person had a question for me, which is ridiculous. But I don't think people are seeing my stories for whatever reason. So if you're watching this on Instagram, do me a favor and like add me to your favorites. So you'll actually see my stories, because it's literally pathetic how few people see. And here is TikTok on this side. Just waiting for people to trickle in there. So if you've got any questions, go for it. I'm not expecting there to be that many people, so that's why I figured I could just do both at the same time and be constantly talking the whole time. So I have not gone live in a very long time. Life has been lifing at me. Has anyone else had just like a fucked up 2025, or is it just me? Like, this year has just been absolutely insane. I feel like it's been insane for a lot of people too. I just went through like a whole thing. Botox and hard knocks on TikTok said yes. Yep. Like, it's just like a weird year. And Hey Girl Pod on Instagram said the algorithm is stupid. I agree. Like, it's just pathetic. Like, I get maybe 200 story views. It's really insane. KM Carol, yes, you've had a crazy year too. A Rich has also had a back and forth year. Caitlin, hey, good to see you. It's been a whirlwind of a year. Yeah, like, it's just like one thing after another. I don't want to trauma dump on you guys, but like I went through PTSD this year. Let's just put it that way. I had a dog and he ended up being inbred, which I figured out like after the fact, and he like kept attacking me. I don't know if you can see, like, I have a scar here. Like, he bit me in the face. That was super traumatic. He bit my hand. It's still not 100%, but I lost count of how many times he bit me. And I don't have the dog anymore. But then that turned into like me having like this crazy fear of dogs, which like has never been a thing for me. And because I'm literally the crazy dog lady herself. Like, my last dog, Chewy, was the love of my life. He was in a wheelchair. I built his wheelchair. Like, I would have done anything for that dog. And he unfortunately passed away. He was 13 and a half. And then the next dog we got just ended up being like insane. And like, we had him on medication, training, behaviorist, all the things. And like, nothing was working. Like, he just kept attacking me, and it was just crazy. And then, it's just a whole thing. But he's no longer with us. He should have been no longer with us a long time ago. I gave him like way too many chances. Honestly, like, it just created so much more trauma and PTSD. I have been in therapy for it. I've been doing EMDR. It's been helpful. I pet my fourth dog recently. So yeah, on the weekend. And I played with 2 dogs so far. So I am no longer afraid of dogs. Things are going in the right direction. And yes, Caitlin, I did do all I could do. Thank you so much. A Rich, OMG, I remember you talking about your dog a while back. So sorry that happened to you. Thank you so much. It was a shit show. And Hey Girl Pod and Aswani, yeah, oh no, oh yeah. And go for Ryan, it gets worse before it gets worse. Yeah, like it cannot get any worse at this point. Like, I am done. I cannot deal with anything else. And then someone on TikTok said everything is in retrograde. It's wild. Like, I hope the retrogrades are done by now, because this is just like so stupid. I am so dumb. I'm not dumb. I am so done. That was a slip. That's hilarious. Aswani, is EMDR worthwhile, working up to it with therapists? So I have had mixed experiences with it. I tried it like a couple of years ago for something else and it didn't work, but I tried it recently for like the whole dog trauma thing that I just went through, and it absolutely has been very worthwhile for me. It just depends on the therapist, I guess. So yeah, it's hit and miss. But this if I didn't do EMDR for like the dog thing that I just went through, I don't think I'd be live right now. Like I think I would still be like on the couch, like just hibernating and just like afraid to leave my house because I became afraid of dogs. So yeah, I'm glad. Oh crap. There we go. So my time limit thingy just came up on Instagram and I just put ignore limit for today. So we're good. Darby, EMDR is so effective for many traumas, and there are many of therapists at my practice in DMV, Maryland. I'm so sorry to hear all that happened to you. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, there's a lot of great EMDR therapists. I'm really glad that I gave it a chance because I would probably still be afraid of dogs to this day. Hey girl pod, I had horrible physical pain from trauma from my narc mom. After EMDR, I don't feel any more pain when I think of her. Amazing. That's awesome. That is really awesome. Yeah, it really does work if you've got like a competent therapist who knows what they're doing. Yeah, and the mind-body connection is so real. Lester, talk to me about EMDR and what it is and how it works. Sorry about your dog, but I just need some information on EMDR now. I'm not really qualified to really talk about like what EMDR is and how it works because I'm not a therapist at all. But look into it. It's a specific type of therapy. It's really good for trauma and stuff like that. And I do mine virtually. So it's like a lot of like tapping, not the same thing as EFT tapping. That's totally different. And then if you do it in person, I think it stands for like eye movement desensitization reprocessing therapy or something like that. So I think like the in-person one, like they do the eye movement thing, but the one that I've been doing virtually has been great. It's worked and I'm not afraid of dogs anymore. So that's great. So yeah, I will just start kind of taking questions. I do have one. Oh, it's not even showing up, but someone asked me on my Instagram stories. That's wild. I haven't gone live in so long that I guess they changed how this works, which it is what it is. I can't remember the exact question now, and I was counting on just having it pop up. But anyway, she asked something about like toxic friendships and how to deal with them. And I think the person's name was Lori, if I'm remembering like at least one element of it correctly. If you are here, feel free to restate your question. Otherwise, I'm probably going to butcher whatever it was, but it was about like toxic friends. Secret on TikTok. No, I'm absolutely not an actor. You do not know me from anywhere. I promise you. I'm no one. But anyways, so back to the person on Instagram who asked about like toxic friends and how to deal with them. You don't, like, same way that you deal with any narcissist. Like, you do not need to be friends with anybody who's like making your life more difficult. Like, it's just, there's no point at all. So, you know, like if you wouldn't accept this type of behavior from like a family member, a significant other, you shouldn't be accepting it from a friend. And it is tricky with narcissistic friends because you don't realize that that's what's happening until like a lot later. Because with friendships, it's not as close as like a significant other or obviously a family or whatever. Like you usually don't live with your friends. So it can take a lot longer for you to recognize if you do have a narcissistic friend. I've had quite a few, unfortunately, myself, and you know, they're no longer in my life, and that's great. Like, I have way less friends now, but it's quality over quantity. And I don't know, I guess like as you get older, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And what matters is like you becoming your own best friend at the end of the day. Like, your relationship with you is the most important relationship you'll ever have. So I hope that answered the question. I hope I remembered at least most of the question correctly. And here on Instagram, I have a question from Studio Gidley. If I hopefully didn't butcher that. Can I get your views on a narc mom finally admitting responsibility or feigning it? She's love bombing you. If your narcissistic mother is like pretending to admit responsibility, like, it is a love bomb. So let's do a little recap on the cycle of abuse. It's love bomb, devalue, discard. So love bombing does not have to be a grand gesture. I think I have a YouTube video on YouTube. like somewhere on YouTube, duh. It's a YouTube video, Jesus Christ. And it's like the subtle red flags of love bombing, because love bombing is a lot more subtle a lot of the times when they go through that cycle. If it's like a relationship, like there will probably be that first kind of grand gesture love bombing happening. But if it's like a family member, or, you know, you've been through the cycle of abuse multiple times with this person, it's not going to be as big, the love bombing. It's going to be really subtle. So it can be them like actually agreeing with you, or like finally making sense for once in their lives, or like pretending to take accountability or take responsibility. It's literally anything you need to hear for them to gain your trust. So don't trust the words, trust the behaviors, the actions, because it's probably bullshit at the end of the day. Like that's cool if, you know, your mom decides to take responsibility for what she did, but like, is the behavior changing long term permanently? Because that's the reality. And 99% of the time, it's like they'll just, like, any narcissist will like take responsibility, and then the next thing you know, like, they've gained your trust, you've eaten their bullshit up, and then they start devaluing you all over again. And it's just like the same bullshit happens over and over and over again. So I wouldn't trust it. I would only trust changed behavior that is long term, which you will never experience that with a narcissist. Hey girl pod, how long did it take to realize your mom was a narc? It took me getting with my husband to see the extent of the abuse, especially since it got so bad. So I actually figured out my mom was a narcissist after a breakup with a narcissist. Because it was like it was a short-lived, like, it was like a 3-4 monther, like, very quick relationship, but I was so fucking confused. And that behavior made me go down the Google rabbit hole. And then I realized, oh my gosh, my ex before that was a narcissist, and before that was a narcissist. There were just so many, way more than I'm proud to admit that I've dated. And then eventually down that Google rabbit hole, and Botox and Hard Knocks on TikTok said same. So I'm so sorry you had the same experience. That sucks. But yeah, basically I found an article. This was like back in like 2014. Botox and Hard Knocks said we were groomed to think that was love. Exactly. Like that's why like so many of us get into narcissistic relationships when we're raised by a narcissistic parent, because like we think that that's what love is and that's how people are. It's not. That is literally abuse. And I didn't know until I knew. And, so yeah, this was like 2014. The algorithm, like there was no algorithms back then to my knowledge, or if there was, it wasn't like creepy how it is today, or just like knows everything that you're going through somehow. And I was just like in a Google rabbit hole, and I found some article that said like 10 signs your mother's a narcissist. I don't remember who the article was by. This was literally 11 years ago. And basically every point was kind of like, oh my God, like what the fuck? And then yeah, like it all kind of came together. Holy existential crisis Batman, you know, the whole shebang. Aswani PXI on Instagram said, I can never imagine her taking accountability, and she probably never will. So don't count on it. A Rich, my narc mom, who I've been no contact with for 8 months, keeps texting and wants to have a sit down. And wants to move forward, but I feel like it's a trap and she won't actually change. It is a trap. It's absolutely 1,000% a trap. Do not trust that. That's love bombing, right? It's whatever you want to hear is what love bombing is. So she wants to have a sit down talk with you. This is probably something you wanted to have with her, where you could just talk like civilized adults and just, you know, figure out like what the issue is, and, you know, like, let's just stop this fuckery. And she refused, or, you know, she turned it on you or whatever. And now she wants to move forward. Of course she wants to move forward. She wants you to forget about the abuse, move forward so that she can keep abusing you. And it's all bullshit. So just keep ignoring those texts. If you are no contact, stay no contact. If you break no contact, it's not a sobriety thing. It's not the end of the world. You know, you can literally just go back to no contact, but like, trust your gut. It is a trap. If it feels like a trap, it 1,000% is a trap. Studio Gidley, it's so true. It always feels like she takes accountability, but it's a trap. Yep. Her false sense of security. Here's a false sense of security, so I know you will fall for it and love me, and then she will go down the same route. Exactly. That is exactly 1,000% it. On TikTok, Luna Capricorn, thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it. And Botox said she wants supply. Exactly. That is exactly it. Darby Integrative Counseling on Instagram says, I love your content and thank you for sharing your experience and all your insights. Seeking EMDR therapy after trauma in relationships, reach out to my practice. Cool. Hey Girl Pod. A Rich, same. Mine is now texting through my dad's phone since I blocked her. That is so classic. Like, that is literally so freaking classic. She's trying to use your dad as like a flying monkey because you blocked her. Let's see. Aswani, same. Didn't know my mom was a covert narc until I was immersed in husband's family and saw healthy and normal relationships. Yeah, isn't it such a trip, like, to be exposed to a healthy family? Like, my husband's family is super healthy as well, and, like, there's none of this, like, insane drama and, like, stupidity that was in my family, and it's just, like, wow, like, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone sometimes. Like, who are these people? And, like, you know, there's like a little element of me that's almost like, is something gonna happen? But then it never happens. Like, it's been, I don't know, I've known him for like 11 years now. So, you know, like, obviously, like, they're normal people. Like, the other shoe would have dropped by now, but it's like, wow, this is so not what I'm used to whatsoever. So yeah. Let's see. Darby, I relate so much. It took me years to realize my dad's gaslighting was abuse that I believed even years into being a trained psychotherapist. I am so grateful for my therapist and guides like you. Awesome. Yeah, it's it really, like, once you figure it out, it's like you're in denial, right? Because it's like you don't want to believe that, like, the people who, like, brought you into this world or, you know, decided to be responsible for you, however it is you came to be, you don't want to believe that, like, they had ulterior motives, because, like, life is already hard enough without this bullshit, you know what I mean? And then to realize that your own parent has been abusing you is just, like, I feel like it's honestly, like, the ultimate betrayal, like, especially when it's your mother, because that's, like, supposed to be your safe space, and when it's not, like, the fuck do you do? Like, who do you trust, right? So, yeah. A Rich, I would normally talk to people to resolve, but whenever she talks, it turns into a yelling attack. Sad. Exactly. Like, there's no such thing as, like, a civilized conversation with a narcissist. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's not a thing. Oh, I see why my TikTok looks so weird, because my iPad is upside down. No, never mind. This is weird. Okay, so the camera's on the bottom on the iPad. Okay. I'm learning technology. I don't know what I'm doing. Studio Gidley, bloody knew it was a trap. Yep. Hey Girl Pod. Yep. Every single time. Studio Gidley, narcissistic victims have unparalleled intuition. Absolutely. Like 1,000%. Yeah. The angle on TikTok is so weird. Where is the camera? I don't know anymore. I don't even know. Whatever. I barely use this thing. Yeah, like, when you have been through narcissistic abuse, like, your intuition is on point, but you're actually trained to not trust your intuition. And Ace Brook on TikTok, I'm also live on Instagram simultaneously, but on my phone on Instagram and iPad on TikTok. And I'm so confused with TikTok right now. But if you have questions on TikTok, go for it, ask away, because, like, no one's really saying anything. Let's see. Yeah, intuition, that's what I was talking about. So yeah, we have really great intuition, but we are trained to not listen to it and to, like, second guess ourselves, because the less you trust yourself, the more you trust, like, the word of the narcissist, and then you start taking, like, whatever they say as gospel, because, like, you're just shamed for, like, trusting yourself. But the reason they shame you for trusting yourself is because you're fucking right. So yeah. Holy Spirit filled. My ex is a narcissist, but why does he literally blame everything on me? Because he's a narcissist. That's literally what they do. They don't take accountability. They will never, they never own up to anything. So it's easier for them to point the finger back at you and just blame you for everything because they're allergic to accountability. Luna on TikTok said, and hey, Splatoon Lab, I was trained to have so much shame. I'm finally living in my 40s. Amazing. Not amazing that you were trained to have shame, but good for you that you're finally starting to live now in your 40s. It is never too late. Shame is guilt, shame, and fear. I tell my clients all the time, they're the three musketeers. Anybody in one of those three emotional states is easier to control. So that's why they throw shame at you all the time. And it's tough. It really sucks to work through it, but it's, important to work through it. And if anyone is interested, I do have a new round of my Bulletproof group coaching program starting very soon. If you're on TikTok, just head to the link in my bio to apply. If you're here on Instagram Live or in Instagram Replay, type the word apply and the link to apply will automatically get sent to your DMs. And if you're watching this replay on YouTube, because I probably would have uploaded it there, the application link is probably in the pinned comment right under the video. Studio on Instagram. What do you think about narcs using drinking, etc. against you? It's just another way of them not taking accountability, right? So if they can blame that oh, I was drunk and that's why I acted that way, then they don't have to take accountability. Or if you had a drink or whatever, they'll try to make it seem I don't know, you were on fucking crystal meth or something, and that that's the worst thing that you could have possibly done, and you were so inebriated, and it's another way to gaslight you. So I have a lot of thoughts, but if you have anything more specific, let me know. Jam with the Slam on TikTok. Oh, no, wait. Splatoon Lab. Wait. TikTok. It went. Wolfie says, what is Darvo? Deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. That's a classic tactic that narcissists use. Botox said, I'm 44 and just understanding. I have never had a healthy relationship. At least it's never too late to figure that out. Do not age shame yourself. You're young. Don't worry. Splatoon Lab. Why do people think we cut our parents because they didn't buy us ice cream 20 years ago? Exactly. That's why I made that whole series of how morons think adult children decide to go no contact. They literally will not take accountability. And I feel I don't know, parents are on such a pedestal in our society, and they should, the ones who actually parent should be, but there's a lot of horrible people who can procreate, and just because they can, it doesn't mean they should, and unfortunately they get lumped in with the good parents who actually are good parents, and they can do no wrong, and so society just doesn't understand it, and people who are enablers, in my opinion, I do believe they're narcissists as well. Because if you're okay with that kind of behavior, how are you treating the people closest to you, right? So it's just, Jam with the Slam. How do you deal with loneliness, though, of having no family and being a scapegoat? So you have to first understand that the loneliness of being a scapegoat sucks, but if you're surrounded by people who are on a mission to destroy you, you're lonely anyways, and that kind of loneliness sucks even more than the loneliness of being a scapegoat. So you have to work on your relationship with yourself, because that's the most important relationship you'll ever have. And, don't sugarcoat anything, right? Let it suck. And keep in mind that the more time you spend with the wrong people, the more you're delaying yourself from meeting the right people. And family doesn't always have to be blood at the end of the day. Studio. Sorry to spam. No worries. I don't think anyone else is really asking that many questions anyway, so you're all good. What if your siblings don't see it? Mine have age regression. I'm demonized if I try to say that this is what's happening. I actually had a Q&A with my community earlier this afternoon, and very similar question came up. it is not your job to save your siblings. They have to save themselves, right? So if like they're refusing to see it, that's their problem. The fact of the matter is you see the bullshit, and you don't need your siblings to like agree with you or to, you know, make a pact with you or whatever. You need to save yourself, and you need to let them save themselves if they want to save themselves at the end of the day, right? Like it's, everyone kind of reacts to trauma differently, but at the end of the day, like if you have made that decision that like I'm in touch with the truth and the reality, and that's that, then that's you saving yourself, and that's amazing. And you can't like force anybody else to like adopt the same mindset as you and to like see the same truth that you can see. So yeah, it kind of sucks, but you literally have to let other people fuck up their lives as they see fit. Steffi G, my dad has been verbally abusive all my life, and I finally blocked. Good for you. It's been a month now. I had to block his side of the family too, because they're all just like him. Yeah, that's very common. Very, very common. Yeah, good for you though. I'm proud of you. Rich, by the way, I've been living with a tumor. Oh, I'm so sorry. And ever since I went no contact, my most recent checkup said it may have actually shrunk. Coincidence? Amazing. I don't think that's a coincidence. Obviously, listen to your doctor and do whatever your doctor's telling you to do about that. But yeah, like being in a stressful situation like makes your health issues way worse. So I am not surprised. Caitlin, highly recommend Bulletproof. Thank you. I agree. Bulletproof is great. If anyone is interested in joining Bulletproof, I have a new round starting very soon. Just type apply in the comments if you're on Instagram, and the link will automatically be sent to you to apply. You'll be able to book a no obligation consultation call with me once you submit your application form. And in the consult call, we'll decide if it's the right program for you. If you're on TikTok, just go to the link in my bio. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube, check out the link in the pinned comment. Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff on TikTok here. Oh. Wolfie, deny, accuse, reflect, victim. No, Darvo, deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender, right? That's Darvo. Deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. So they're going to deny whatever you're accusing them of, even if like there's literally like a video of them doing it. They don't care. They're like beyond, they're above facts and reality. Attack, they will attack you, right? So they'll say, oh, you're the asshole or whatever. Reverse, victim, and offender. So they make themselves the victim. How could you do this to me? You did this to me. You made me do this, whatever. And that's basically what Darvo is. Deny, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. Louise's daughter, it appears he changed for new supply. Is that possible? It's just the love bombing phase. They don't actually change. They just change their targets. And when they have a new supply, they're going to be love bombing them so much to, you know, gain their trust, because that's the whole point of love bombing. And yeah, it's he's gonna do exactly what he did to you to his new supply. I promise you that. It's just that on like if he's posting stuff to social media, of course it's gonna be all rainbows and sunshine, because you know they're not. Think about it, like any of you who have been in a relationship with a narcissist, have you ever like posted a photo of yourself like crying your eyes out saying like, oh my God, I can't take this abuse? No, like people post only the good stuff on social media. And so like narcissists will literally just make it seem like it's the best relationship ever and that they've changed and everything's wonderful. No, it's just a tactic. It is love bombing. It is bullshit. Splatoon Lab says, my mom tried to gaslight me that I'm unhappy because I bought my own apartment. Of course, because if you bought your own apartment, you don't have to live with her anymore. And then she doesn't get to control you anymore. And, you know, of course you're unhappy. No, fuck that. Like stay in your own apartment and congratulations on getting your own place. Jam with the slam. Have you ever seen the subreddit Regretful Parents? It's insane. That's the reality. Yeah, I'm in that subreddit because it's just so interesting. Yeah, it's just more reasons to not have kids. Splatoon Lab. And there's like a lot of narcissistic parents too that like should have never had kids in that subreddit either. But yeah, Splatoon Lab. I was saving for years to get the loan approved. This was my goal. Way to go. Amazing. Jam with the slam. My extended family agrees with me, but they tell me to just accept the way they are. Makes me angry. That they're enablers. Fuck them, honestly. Like, literally. You can't reason with these people. Jade, what's the program? It's called Bulletproof. If you're interested, and you're on TikTok, go to the link in my bio. If you're on Instagram, type apply in the comments and the link will automatically get sent to you. And it's a 12-week group coaching program. And once you apply, you can book a no obligation consult call with me, and we'll decide if it's the right fit for you. Jade Flora, no, you are not watching a recording. I am literally live right now. Ace Brooke, I've heard there's a narcissist collapse happening. Is it so? I mean, I don't know about like globally, but it is a thing, narcissistic collapse, like where they just kind of have no more supply sources. My mom like basically died when she had no more supply. I don't know if that's a coincidence or genuine narcissistic collapse, but yeah. I'm gonna pivot back to Instagram. Go for Ryan. Controlling people through guilt, shame, and fear sounds like core tenets of certain organizations. Yeah. Yep. We're family here in the workplace, right? Like, sounds very familiar. And they use those exact same emotions. And it's, those are really like the only emotions: guilt, shame, fear, confusion, sense of obligation, bamboozlement. Like, those are really the only emotions that humans can have, that like they're so terrible to feel that like you'll do anything to not feel those emotions. So you're more likely to like do whatever the person trying to control you wants you to do. And it works very well in corporations. Studio Gidley, darling, you're an absolute savior. Sending love from London. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad that this is helpful. Aswani, I feel like narc victims want to help their siblings. We've been trained to put someone else's feelings, usually narc parents, before all else. Exactly, right? And the best thing you can do, like if you really want to help your siblings, is lead by example. So start setting boundaries, go low contact, go no contact if you can. They will figure it out eventually, especially if they're younger siblings. Like, they might not understand at first. And like everybody sort of has their own journey at the end of the day, right? So it's part of healing is really learning that you're not responsible for somebody else's feelings, as much as you have been conditioned to believe that. Hey girl pod, it's crazy how narcs can literally make you sick. Yup, they sure can. Samantha, agreed to Bulletproof. It saved my life. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. And yeah, you come such a long way from Bulletproof. Like, I'm so freaking proud of you. And again, whoever's interested, there are spots available. I have 2 early bird spots left. Early bird spots get you a massive discount, and you get to choose the schedule. So if you're on Instagram, drop apply in the comments and it will automatically send you the application form. If you're on TikTok, just head over to the link in my bio and you will find the application form there. Let's see what else we've got. Aswani, there's a study I read. Childhood emotional abuse contributes more than any other abuse towards childhood adult obesity. Wouldn't be surprised if there are other physical illnesses not studied yet. Literal trauma. Yeah, absolutely. You want to know why I'm a coach? Because of chronic pain from childhood narcissistic abuse. That's how I literally learned to heal. I had horrendous chronic pain. I had TMJ dysfunction. I got shingles in my mouth at the ripe old age of 30. This is like years ago. I'm aging myself here. And I ended up with something called trigeminal neuralgia, which is nicknamed the suicide disease because it's that fucking painful. And I learned about Dr. Sarno and the mind-body connection, and like it literally saved my life. And I, within 4 months, got out of pain. Like I had carpal tunnel surgery. I don't know if you can see my scar. Yeah, you can see my scar. Here it is on TikTok. I don't know where the fuck the camera is here, but whatever. But yeah, the mind-body connection is so real, and it's all because of an accumulation of repressed emotions from childhood trauma. And that's what my chronic pain was all about. I no longer suffer from chronic pain. It took me 4 months to get myself out of that pain. And that's why I ended up becoming a coach. Because I was like, I initially started off as a mind-body connection coach, because I was like, people need to know that chronic pain, like you can heal from it. And then the more I kind of shared my own story and, stuff like that, that started really resonating with a lot of people that like had narcissistic mothers as well. And all my clients anyways had like a narcissistic parent anyways. So it just kind of, here we are. Studio Gidley, the body remembers. Yes, it does. Starlight Diaries, you're too kind. I mean, I think I have like the face touch up. No, maybe not on Instagram. No, thank you. Yeah, there's no filter. Go for Ryan. Social media literally rewards and encourages narcissistic behavior. Absolutely. Like I had to learn how to like come up with like clickbait hooks so people can actually fucking see my content. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Aswani, I'm sorry, read the chronic pain. This is insane. I'm fine now. I don't have chronic pain anymore. And in a weird way, I'm like grateful for it because like it's kind of been my biggest gift that like I can, share with other people how to heal. And there's like a whole portion on the mind body connection in my bulletproof program. If anyone is interested, just head over to the link in my bio if you're on TikTok, or type apply in the comments if you're on Instagram live or Instagram replay. If you're on YouTube replay, it's on the pinned comment. We've got a few more things on TikTok. Let's see. Jam with the Slam said, thank you for what you do. Without creators like you, I would fully believe I was the problem. I'm so glad that my content's been helpful and has helped you see that you are absolutely not crazy. Because you're not. And that's what narcissists want. They want you to believe that you're the problem. They want you to believe that something is wrong with you. Take care, Aswani. Thanks so much for being here and all the way from India. That is so cool. That is so awesome. We have like international here. That is amazing. Let's see. Splatoon Lab on TikTok said, my dad is narcissistic and cheap. The dad from Everyone Hates Chris. My dad is that cheap. Yeah, narcissists are like kind of notorious for being cheap. Like they will not share. It is absolutely ridiculous. It's not surprising whatsoever. And then like there's like the whole financial abuse aspect of everything. Like my late narcissistic mother absolutely financially abused me. Like she charged me for rent, and then I eventually moved out because I figured her out, and then she tried to get more money out of me for the heating bill. She wanted like $500, and then she like used my dog Chewy, the good dog that did not cause me to have PTSD, and she was like, oh, I could have been a real bitch and like not had the heat on for him, and like it, like she tried to guilt trip me for money. It's so insane. And then I found out that she stole money from me too. So that's narcissistic parents for you. It's wild. Harvey Paul on Instagram said, your content has helped me so much. Oh, amazing. I'm so glad to hear. That is awesome. That's why I do what I do. And it looks like no one else is asking any questions, so I will probably wrap this up very soon. I feel like I've been live for a while. I will ramble a little bit. Harvey Paul on Instagram. My father did something very similar. He used to steal most of the money I made from working. Yeah, same. I did not have my own bank account until like my early 20s because I didn't know I could legally just walk into a bank with my ID and get my own bank account. And then after that, because like she was just getting all my paychecks, we had like a joint account, but like she had control over everything. And one day I figured out I could just walk into the bank and get my own account. And then that's when she started to like charge me for rent and shit like that, and like try to prevent me from being able to save to move out. I eventually decided like, fuck this. I chose to take on more debt to move out of her house back in 2016, and never looked back, obviously. And yeah, zero regrets. But yeah, looks like no one else has any questions. Hey Girl Pod said, oh, my mom would literally say, why do I need to work? She gives me everything. I don't need money. Exactly. Like, yeah, my mom didn't work and I was like, I had like fucking 3 jobs at a time sometimes. Like, it was crazy. You know, it's like you become like their insurance policy. It's absolutely disgusting when it should actually be the other way around. Like, parents are supposed to provide for their children, not the other way around. Like, you know, and like, don't have kids if you can't provide for them. Like, I don't know. But yeah, looks like we're at the end of questions on both TikTok and Instagram. So I will wrap this up. Thank you guys for being here. Again, if you want to join my Bulletproof Group program, do it. There's not a lot of time to waste. Oh, I see someone literally just applied, so that's exciting. So there might just be one early bird spot left now too. So just head over to the link in my bio, submit your application, book a call with me. And if you're on Instagram, you can type the word apply while the live is still going on or in the replay, or you can go to the link in my bio as well. And feel free to submit your application. And I look forward to meeting you, and we will discuss whether or not it is the correct program for you, because it's not for everybody. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Take care. See you next time. I do plan on going live more often now, now that I'm healing very much from the PTSD. We are back in order. And yeah, see you guys later. Take care. Bye.